Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a good day. I'm gonna put my jacket on real quick. It is so cold. It was like 80 degrees in Ohio 2 days ago, and now it's down to like 60, and I don't know. Anyway, if you see me shivering, it's because I'm freezing my butt off. So, okay. Let's dive right in. So if you're new to our community, welcome. So glad to have you here. And I want to, I preface this before I jump into my training today, which is going to be on my intuitive launch method, which is, before I jump into that, what I want to share with you if you're new is that I do a live training in this group once a week on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock, same time every week. And this Facebook group is not about vanity metrics. I do not care how many women are in here. What I care about is the quality of the woman in here. That sounded kind of shallow. What I mean by that is, like, I want people who are wanting to be here, who are going to engage with the community, connect with each other, use this as a resource, ask questions, ask for support, engage with other women, network. Like, that's what this is about. So I do clean out this group every other week for people who aren't engaged. And again, I don't do that to like be mean or anything. It's just, this isn't about vanity metrics. This is a community, and I keep it as such. So if you don't engage, if you're just like a quiet lurker, you might get removed. So that's what this group is about. But like I said, I do these trainings every Wednesday, and truly these trainings should be paid for and are things that I typically, give to my clients, but I love to serve this community. So they're very valuable trainings, and I get a lot of really good feedback from them. And I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. So anyway, without further ado, let's dive into today. If you are on live, comment live. If you're watching the replay, comment #replay. And if you're new to the group, like this is your first live, I won't go over a big spiel about who I am. You can read like all the welcome posts and stuff, but make sure to comment below if you're brand new and just tell me like where you're from, what state you live in. I live in Ohio in the US. Okay, so my intuitive launch method, super excited. Now, this could be a whole course. This could be a whole program I could teach, and I'm going to condense everything down into a quick live here for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. So please understand that I can only give you so much of this method because of the amount of time that I have here, but it's still going to be super valuable for you. And by the end of this, you'll leave with more insight of at least one or two things you can do to start implementing intuitive launching. So if you don't know my story, I've been in the entrepreneurial space building my online businesses for almost 7 years. And so I know a thing or two about launching. And one of the things that I decided when I started this business, because my first business that I built to 6 figures is in health and fitness coaching. I still run that business. But when I started this business, I decided I do not want to do traditional launches with this business the way that they're taught. I've got some crazy hair. Because they feel very stressful. Like whenever I would see entrepreneurs posting about launching and all the things they had to do to launch, I just was like so stressed, even just learning about it and reading about it and hearing about it, that I was like, I want nothing to do with that. But we all hear you have to launch to have a successful business. You have to have launches. And so what I started doing was kind of like an anti-launch, but also intuitive launching. Intuitive launching is the soulful way of launching. There is a bit of strategy, just like with everything I teach. I really truly believe that to have a thriving business and a thriving life, it's about balancing the masculine and the feminine. And what I typically find is that entrepreneurs go balls to the walls with one or the other. They're like, I'm gonna go like me. I'm all masculine. Give me the strategy, give me the things to do, give me a list, I'll do it. And that's how I built my first business. Now, I want to say, hi girl, how are you? I do want to say that first business I built, I did build it to 6 figures, but I stayed stuck at about 70K for 2 years because I was so in my masculine and I did not understand intuitive launching. I really understood only the regular masculine launching that we're taught. And I was just like a robot, like, give me the strategy, I'll do the things. And I was really good at executing the things, but I got plateaued at 70K a year for 2 years, which was extremely frustrating. And then what I did to compensate was I just worked harder. Like I was like, well, if I'm stuck at 70K, then I just need to do more. I'll just take more action. I'll try more launch strategies. Like, give me the things and I will do them, right? Can any of you resonate? If you can resonate with that, you are what I call a hustlepreneur, and I get you because that was me. So long story short, after 2 years of being plateaued, I was like, if what you're doing isn't working, don't do it harder. And it took me 2 years to figure that one out. Okay. So if your launch method isn't working, if what you're doing in general isn't working, don't do it harder. It's not going to help. Okay. And I had to learn that the hard way. So when I started this business, I finally shifted out of my overly masculine hustle energy, and I started to get really, really into the feminine. And again, that's where I see a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck, is they're really stuck in one or the other. So what I did is kind of like a pendulum swing from like super masculine to like, whoa, now I'm way too feminine. So really what we want to do is get that balance of strategy with the feminine, of energetics and flow and allowing. The way that I work with my clients inside my Successful Accelerator and my other programs is we always, always, always want to build the strategy on top of the energy. Because if the energetics is off, it doesn't matter how good the strategy is, it's not going to work. I have so many examples of this in my own business. It's not even funny, because we think that the strategy is the thing getting the results, and that's working from the outside in, and life doesn't work from the outside in. Every single result you create, every piece of your 3D reality is created from the inside out. So with that being said, I don't even know how I got on that side tangent, but here, let me just get to the point, because I was like, I'm on a side tangent and I don't even know where I was going with that. The point is, I started to get back into the middle where that's what I was saying. Okay, sorry guys. Sometimes I get really, really on the roll here and I'm just like channeling, and then I get really distracted. So what I always teach my clients and what I specialize in is building strategy, aligned strategy on top of aligned energetics. If your mindset, your energy, your spirit, and your subconscious programming are not in the right space, then it doesn't really matter what you do. You can't create the results. And that's basically the trap that I got caught in. So when it comes to aligned launching, you can use this method with anything. This could be launching anything. I literally use this for every single thing I share, basically. So even if I'm just launching a new email lead mag, I'm going to use intuitive launching. When I'm, launching this Facebook group last month, I used it. When I'm launching my masterclass that I'm doing Sunday, which by the way, guys, I have a masterclass Sunday night. It's called the Sales Cure. I made posts in here, so I'm not going to go on about it. You can check out those posts, but make sure to register so that you can get the tools that I'm going to give you with the masterclass. So anyway, with the masterclasses I do, intuitive launching, same thing with my programs, everything. So what that looks like, as I've said before, is really what I'm going to talk about today is more the energetics piece, but do know there is strategy. I'm not just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. I have strategy in place for sure, but it's understanding how to do aligned strategy and not just like cookie cutter strategy that really just does not feel good. So I wrote down my steps here, because I'm very much a process oriented person. I need steps to follow for things, because I'm a little ADD, as you probably can tell. So I'm going to give you guys kind of the process I go through. And again, like I said, this could be like a whole course and a whole program. So I'm kind of condensing it as much as possible. So if you have questions, please drop them in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them. So the first thing that I want to share with you is the inner state is the most important thing of anything you're going to launch, is how you feel about it. So that's the first thing I do, is I drop into how I'm feeling about that thing. So if I learn a new strategy, I don't care how good the strategy is. I don't care if that coach that's teaching the strategy is like, oh my God, this is going to 10x your income and blah, 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 blah. That's how I used to operate, which led to some really poor investments and some coaches that really were misaligned, because I got really focused on the results that they promised me, and I totally ignored how I actually felt about the strategy. So the first thing with intuitive launching is just knowing that your feelings are the guide. Your feelings are the guide. And if you've been, this is a whole different spiel, but if you've been cut off from your feelings and you operate solely from thought and analytical mind, this process is going to be extra challenging for you until you can learn to be more in flow, and until you can learn to stop thinking everything through. Intuitive launching it's not going to be black and white cookie cutter strategy. And I think that's where people struggle, is they just really, they try to build their businesses with their mind. And your business can't be built with your mind. Your business is built with your energy and your soul. Like your business it's an entity of its own. It's living through you, right? You're a channel for that energy, for source energy to flow through you and build your business. And when you try to build a business from logic and from your mind and from traditional strategies and launching that doesn't feel good, you're basically cutting off the flow of source, and you're trying to think your way to results. And you cannot think your way to results. You cannot think your way to outcomes. It doesn't work that way. So first thing is understanding that inner state is the most important thing with anything in your business, really. So the second thing is alignment first. So before I take any action towards a launch, I get into alignment first. And when I say get into alignment, really alignment isn't something you have to go get into. It's more like something you allow. So honestly, the best way to allow alignment is stop thinking for like 5 seconds. So typically what I do, okay, is I ask my subconscious, you can ask, okay, listen, like it doesn't technically matter who you want to talk to. For me, I ask the universe, my subconscious, or my higher self. It really doesn't matter. So you can ask God, you can ask the universe, your higher self, your subconscious. I typically just ask my sub, okay? And I'll be like, hey, subconscious, drop in an idea for me later. I'd really like to help me grow my business. What's the next step to help me grow my business? And then I let it go. I completely let it go. And what most people do is they're like, okay, I need clients this month. Okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to think about how to get clients. And this is what I used to do. And I'm going to write down all these things that I can do that I'm going to think about to get clients. And I don't care how they feel. It doesn't matter if they feel horrible. I'm just going to go do the things that somebody told me work. And that's how I'm going to get clients. And I'm not saying that can't work. I'm just saying it's not super effective. And that's why things can often feel really forceful, is because you're not doing it from that inspired, aligned place. You're just doing it from your thinking. So, like I was saying, I get into alignment first, which really means I allow alignment. And I ask my subconscious, again, address whatever, to drop it in for me. And then I let it go. It's really, try this today. Try this today with anything. I do this for content. I do this for ads. I do this for all of my programs. I ask for what I need and then I let it go. And it always comes to me. Just yesterday, my ads lady messaged me and she was like, hey, I need you know what you should do is make an ads for your masterclass coming up, make an ad for it, and I'll get that going today, which hadn't occurred to me. And I was like, okay, at first I check in, right? Oh, that feels good. Okay, that feels really good. That feels really exciting, right? You'll know it feels good. You'll know it's the next step because it just feels good in your body. It feels exciting. Uh-oh, I hear my kid screaming. And so, but then I instantly was like, crap, how am I going to write an ad? Like I have no time. I literally build my businesses in like 2 hours a day. I was like, I don't have time to sit down and run an ad. So what do? I delegate. Hey, sub. Actually, what I said was, hey, baby. It's all right, honey. Oh, baby. Hold on 1 second, guys. You know, this is mom life. What's up? If you want to hang out in here, you have to go hang out on the bed or play on the floor. Here? Yeah, because I'm doing a video. Okay? Jessica will be gone in about 15 minutes, and then you and I are hanging out. Okay? If you want to hang out here, you gotta be quiet. Guys, you know, what are you gonna do? What was I saying? Lindsay, anybody? Crap. See that? All that did was totally mess up my... And I had a really good point that I was going to. Oh, so I asked the idea. Okay, thanks. Sorry. So yesterday I was like, you know, hey, subconscious, I don't have time. Like, show me an ad that I can use as inspiration, or bring an idea to me that I can use as an inspiration. Just drop it in. I kid you not, an hour later, I'm scrolling Instagram, boom, an ad pops up that really caught my attention, and I liked the graphic. So I screenshotted the graphic, sent it over to my VA. She made the graphic. And then for the copy, again, the same thing happened. Like an idea of copy I had written before that I totally forgot about popped into my mind. I screenshotted it, sent it over. So I got the whole thing done in like literally 10 minutes because I just asked for assistance. I let things come to me. That's what it means to be in receptive mode. That's what it means to allow. So let the ideas come to you and ask for support and get out of the way. Like just for like a little bit, right? It will come. The only thing that'll slow it down is if you're like, well, it's not showing up. I don't have the answer. then that right there is going to make, like, that's going to make it not show up, right? Oh, and here's my dog, right? We're just having a party, guys. I do, Lori. DM me, Lori. I have a really good ads lady. Okay, guys. You don't need to yell. I have a really good ads lady I can recommend to you. Okay, so we're just going to keep going with it, guys. Jackson, remember what I said? You can stay in here but you have to be quiet. Okay, so up next, I'm looking at my notes here. Thank God I wrote notes, guys, because I have so much going on here that I'm like, where's my brain at? So, okay, so that's it. Okay, so I ask. Once the answer drops in, which if you turn off your brain and just get into a receptive mode, it will. It absolutely will. The next step will become clear, whether it's through a post you see or you'll randomly hear a podcast, or the idea will just pop in your head. The key is you'll know it's the right idea because of how it will feel in your body. It'll feel exciting. So if you're getting ready to launch something and you're like, okay, I really have this program that I'm so excited to share with people, but you start getting in the nitty gritty of like, okay, well now I need to go write all these emails and I need to go create all this stuff, and it just feels really heavy. That's not the right energy, because that's not going to attract people to you. Number one, it's going to make it harder for people to be magnetized to you. But number two, like, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to build a business off that energy, because the whole point of building the business is to help people and have fun and live my life and live in joy and let my soul be an expression through my business. We create these businesses for freedom and fun and abundance, and then we think we can get those things by working from stress and hustle and fear and anxiety and questioning everything we do. You can't do that, right? So I refuse to do that. So once I ask for the answer and it drops in, or I look for inspiration, it'll just come to me. It will. Trust that it will. The next thing I do is I don't question the inspired action that I am given. Again, this is where I used to struggle big time, because I would get an idea, but if it didn't make logical sense, I would not act on it, right? So when I had the idea to start this community, this Facebook group, I had this idea literally 6 months before I made the group. But I wasn't practicing the method I'm talking about now. And I was still in my fear. And I was like, well, I let logic, right? I let my brain talk me out of it over and over again. Because you hear people say, oh, Facebook groups are so exhausting. They're such a waste of time. They're not going to be effective. And I ignored my soul because my brain and the voice of other people told me it wouldn't work. And finally, I was like, you know what? Why am I ignoring this true soul desire of mine? So don't question what drops in. Follow it, follow it, follow it, follow it. Same thing with my masterclass Sunday. I was like, my business coach, who I love and adore dearly, basically was like, that's probably not the best masterclass to do. That's not really going to drive results. And I just was like, nope, I'm listening to my soul. I know in my soul that this is what I'm meant to do. I know it. I feel it. It's going to be fun. Like, I'm so excited. And before I would have been like, oh, okay, it doesn't make strategic business sense, right? It's not the, the steps that I'm supposed to follow. But listen, the steps aren't going to be logical. A lot of the times that the things that you're going to be asked to do are going to be really scary. But fear is not a sign that it's not the right thing. Okay. Fear is not a sign that it's not the right thing. I can't stress that enough. So don't question it. And then the next thing I ask is, and sorry if this is a little jumbled together because I'm slightly distracted. Jackson, honey. I'm almost done. The next thing that I do is I ask, how can I let this be easy? Because with traditional launching, we are taught, and again, there's nothing wrong with traditional launching if it works for you, or like you have a method that works great for you. It's all about how it feels to you, right? Jackson, dude. But then I ask, how can I let this be easy? Which means exactly what I'm saying. So like, instead of being like, oh, I have to go write this, 7 pages of emails, this email sequence that I'm absolutely dreading. How can I let this be easy? How can I make this fun? How can I make this energizing? And again, I kind of just let it go typically, and the idea drops in. Like, I had an idea to repurpose some of my Instagram posts I'd written like 3 months ago, and so I repurposed those. Or a post drops in that I'm like, oh my God, this would be a great post, and this is actually a perfect email for my sequence. I'm going to pop it in there. But I just figure out ways to make it easy. For my master... Can you guys hear me? Because he's just like chatting. For my masterclass on Sunday, traditionally masterclasses are taught on Zoom or whatever, And I was like, that doesn't feel good. I'm just going to host it in this Facebook group. It's less work for me, and I'm going to let it be easy. I'm not going to overcomplicate things that just don't need overcomplicated. Okay. And then I just have a couple more tips to wrap up the process that I go through. Follow the feelings. I kind of already touched on this, but your feelings are going to tell you where to go. If you've shut your feelings off and you don't know how to feel anymore, I get you, because that is the type of woman I work with. They actually don't know what I'm saying when I say trust your feelings, and that was me. That is a classic case of the hustlepreneur. And when I work with women inside my program, that's one of the things that I help them get in touch with again, is their own intuition, their own feelings. But trust the feelings. Trust how it feels in your body. If it feels restrictive and stressful, it's probably not going to be the correct path. I take that back. Everything's always leading you exactly where you need to be. So technically it's always the correct path, but it may not be the easiest path. Let's put it that way. And then I trust and let go. I think that's another thing that really helps me energetically, is I'm not caught up in like, oh my God, I need this many, like the whole conversion thing, right? Not that there's anything wrong with this, but I just don't approach it from the mindset of like, okay, well, if I want to convert this many people, I need to have this many signups, because that's industry standards. That's fine. Like, I look at those numbers, I consider them, but that's about it. Because ultimately I know that's like the universe is my source, not hitting some special numbers so that I can reach a conversion rate. Like literally you guys, my first webinar that I did for this business, I think I had like 5 people on live. And the conversion rate for that would have been like, like if I listened to the experts, they would have been like, you're screwed. Like, you're not going to fill out that program. But I did. I signed my first client and I started filling my program because I had 5 people on. I just did what I knew to do. And I didn't worry about like, are the results showing up? I just trusted the process, and I completely let go, because I truly believe that my business is an expression of my soul, and that I honor the work. Like, I honor the work that I'm here to do, and I don't question it. I just let it like flow through me, basically. And I trust, especially when you're launching, that who's meant to see it will, who's meant to join will, who's meant to connect with you will, and who's meant to be in the program will. And then I just keep taking inspired action. And yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. And following the feel good feelings. So I'm trying to look at my notes. Last 2 things I had for you guys is intuitive launching. Really, if I were to describe it like in one word, it would be fun. Fun. That's my goal. That's my energy. That's what it's about. And if it's not going to, like, I'm not saying you're not going to have to do hard things. I'm not saying you're not going to get in fear. I'm not saying you're not going to apply strategies. Those things are all there, but you can do those things and still have fun with it, and still be in the energy of like expansive, fun creativity at the same time, right? So that's always the goal I'm working for. And I have one more note that I want to share with you. I'm going to try and explain this as best as possible. Something I often think about when I'm ever feeling like stuck in my business or stagnant or whatever, I always think about the work is the cure. The work is the cure. Meaning the work you were put on this planet to do, going out and doing that work, regardless of results, regardless of what's in it for you, regardless of how much money you're going to make or if the launch is going to succeed, that's going to be the cure. Like, that's going to be the thing that keeps you going, keeps you in the... Oh, now I have a puppy barking at me, guys. This is going to keep you... Welcome to my house, you guys. This is only like a small fraction of the chaos that I deal with on a daily. But I just like anytime I'm stuck, I'm like, okay, what can I do that's really fun in my business? That's just fun, because I know that the work is the cure. So for me, if I'm ever stuck in my business, I literally go do a training like this. This is my cure. This gets me high on life. Like, this is what I'm here to do. And because I'm working from that energy of just service and here to help, number one, I know that when you give out with an open heart, you always get back. So I'm not worried about getting clients or anything like that. Like, I know that it'll benefit me in some way. I'm able to detach. Like, I'm not attached to how many people are on my masterclass on Sunday at all. It could be one person. The work is the cure. I'm there to have fun and be of service. That one person who's on your masterclass, or, like if you're launching that launch you're doing, if you only have, let's say you're launching and you only have, one person join your program. like, you don't know where that could go. You don't know the gift that that's giving you, and you're going to have more people down the road, right? But the work is the cure. Like, we get so attached to every little outcome and we make it mean so much about us. And that's the other thing that I think really F's people up with launching, and what I don't do with intuitive launching and what I'm not fucking available for is making any sort of result mean shit about me. It doesn't mean anything about me at all. When I first launched my very first group coaching program, which was the high ticket group coaching program, I had one client in there for the first month and a half. It's a group program. I had one client. Didn't mean anything about me. Didn't mean anything about me. I didn't let it stop me. I didn't let it stress me out. I had so much fun, and she got amazing coaching because it was just her for a little bit. And whereas old me, and what most people do is they're like, oh my God, I'm failing. Like, I'm not good enough, blah, blah, blah. And so I think the best thing we can do with intuitive launching or any kind of launching is just letting go of the outcomes and not making every little result mean so much about you. Because when your worth is attached to the outcome, that automatically and energetically sets you up for a lot of struggle, right? Because if your worth hangs in the air, you know how fucking hard you're going to work? Been there, done that. I used to be the queen of that, right? That is the hallmark of the hustlepreneur. Their worth, their self-image, their validation hangs in the air every time they launch. So of course launching is terrifying. Your entire identity hangs in the balance, right? When you heal that shit, when you let that go, you can intuitive launch all day long because you have no attachment to the outcome. You're just here on a soul journey on this planet for this lifetime, and you're like, I'm gonna fucking go all out, and it means nothing about me, and I'm gonna have so much fun and serve everybody I'm meant to serve, and then it gets to be really, really good. And P.S., you're going to magnetize more people because people want to work with somebody who's in their power, right? So if you are, I'm going to have to wrap this up because it's already at 30 minutes. I feel like I could talk forever, and I just kind of like let it flow through me. So thanks for hanging in there, because I know that the kids and the dogs and everything was crazy. But in the comments below, let me know what questions you have. Let me know what you're launching, or share with the other women in the group, like anything you have. If you have a lead mag you just launched, drop the link in the comments. If you're doing a masterclass, drop the link in the comments. Share. Collaborate. Do that in the comments. And let me know if you need any help with launching, if you have questions in the comments. But again, this could be a whole program, and I can't like talk forever. So I'm just gonna hope that you got what you needed from this. And if you have questions, you can share them below. So with that being said, like I said, I have my masterclass on Sunday. It's called The Sales Cure. I'm going to be teaching energetic and empowered selling. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. I love sales. I just love it. It's so much fun. And so that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern in this Facebook group, but please register via the link, even though you'll automatically get access because you're in here, so that you can get the, I'm going to send out a guide, or like, I'm going to send out some special treats. And intuitively, I'm not even sure yet. I'm going to ask, and it's going to drop in. Probably be some sort of like hypnosis maybe, or meditation, something like that. Like, it's going to be something good. Get something good for you guys. So if you register, I'll make sure that I send that out to you guys when the time comes. But that's Sunday in this group. And I think that's it. All right, ladies, thank you for hanging out with me and bearing with me with all the craziness. I hope you guys have an awesome Wednesday, and I will see you on Sunday night.